Welcome to a very special Love Bliss Cacao Ceremony Day! And we have a very special guest today, Sammi Hands. Sammi Voice is here visiting.
Yes. To clarify, Sammi Hands is the drag king name that I use. It's not my actual name. My name is Sammi Price. And yes, excited to be here, Mary. Thank you. This is awesome. We're on the beach. You can see from the movement of the waves behind us that this is a really great time. The weather's beautiful.
It's 30 degrees outside,
Yeah.
but this looks amazing.
Yeah.
It's just, it puts us in a different space.
Yes.
So today we want to visit Mama Cacao. Mama Cacao is going to visit with us. So plant spirit medicine is the first thing that I personally want to talk about, but I have a feeling that by the time we really get into drinking it and feeling it, letting it move through our heart spaces, that we will be doing lots of other talks on love, engagements of love, sexual things. Maybe not that, but definitely.
No, it's for the other website. It's a joke.
Is it? Was it?
Anyways.
What a sturdy smoke bomb. All right, so when we talk about, all right, I'm gonna get comfortable for a second. When we talk about plant spirit medicine, every single plant that we have here on earth is a particular medicine. And so this could be just like the herbs that we cook with every day, the things that we make our lotions and everything out of, but also when we specifically within the healing community talk about plant spirit medicine, a lot of the time we're referring to mushrooms, cacao, things like that that are very opening, things that are medicines, things that help you with your healing journey. Now, I feel like in the future, we are going to be having some talks on mushrooms and different things like that. And there's gonna be a little bit of mushroom stuff in here today, but not a whole lot. This is all about cacao, Mama Cacao. She is a very, very, very special plant medicine spirit that I feel directly called to work with, that I love to work with, and she is not sweet. She is actually very bitter, but it is very heart opening. It just warms the space. It opens the heart space. It's an antioxidant. It is essentially a superfood. It has the bliss molecule inside of it. So even though cacao doesn't give you a sense of being high, it does give you a sense of bliss, a sense of warming, a sense of everything just opening and melting and everything just being beautiful and okay, because she is the love space. Cacao is also an aphrodisiac, so there's that. But she's also filled with lots of different vitamins, antioxidants. She's a psychotropic, so there's a whole lot to cacao itself that is good for your physical body as well as for your energy, your heart space, your heart chakra, and your spiritual evolution. Now, cacao is chocolate, and I don't have my cacao bean. I'll have to remember to show you guys that. Cacao is raw chocolate. What you're used to eating is refined chocolate mixed with tons of sugar. So we're gonna show you how to make cacao, and you can sweeten it, because like I said, it is kind of bitter as it moves through. Mostly just bitter because we're used to chocolate tasting differently. But please don't put sugar in it. If you do this at home, please don't put sugar in your cacao. It would break my heart. It would make me cry. Mother Cacao will cry. The whole earth will cry if you put sugar in it.
That is wild. Also, real quick, as she's threatening all of us, I will say that this is also my first time doing anything like this. So for those of you who are watching who are like, oh my gosh, I've never done this before, you can live vicariously through me, while you do your own cacao ceremony.
Blind reaction.
Yeah.
Never done cacao.
Yeah, never have, so.
So like I said, it's just raw, unrefined, unsugared chocolate, ground down straight from the bean in a very special way. It's extremely ceremonial. Because it's a plant spirit medicine, it should be treated as a ceremony. So that means that when we're coming into ceremony, just like we've talked about in the other videos, this means that you're cleansing your space, you're getting yourself in a very open space ready to receive. Your hands are clean. Are your big ass hands clean?
They are, but you know what? You can do it with me. I'm going to wash my hands for 2 seconds because now I'm paranoid, so I'll be right back.
And you're coming into your holy space here.
Are you okay?
The guitar fell.
I got you.
You're coming into your very, very special space. So you're taking off your shoes. Moses, take your shoes off, you're on holy ground. Everybody said, Moses, take your shoes off, you're on holy ground. Throw them away. And look, I even wore my heart socks today. Not on purpose, but you know, it kind of fits in with the heart thing that we're doing. My other sock is not a heart. I don't have matching socks. And that's cute. Okay.
Those are some nice socks, Mary.
What do yours look like?
Mine are super comfy socks without a heart on them. Sorry.
I love it. It's very serious. This is a serious ceremony filled with bliss and aphrodisiacs. And actually, it's believed that the Aztec god Quetzalcoatl was who gifted cacao to the Aztec people. So when we think of cacao or chocolate, it is a gift from the gods. She is the river of life. It's believed that everything through cacao is really the energy of love. And this is not only a gift from the gods, but it is life itself. So cacao is life itself.
Wow, that's amazing.
That is amazing.
I'm really excited.
That's amazing. We're so excited. Sammy.
Yes.
Plug yourself.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm really excited to be doing this. You know, I met Mary at a fabulous convention that Susan Lynn and other wonderful speakers were at. And
Pause button. Susan Lynn, if you're watching this, I would marry you.
Yeah, everybody would. So.
All right, unpause.
All right. I thought you meant literally pause. I was like, it's over by you if you want to really pause the video. Yeah, so I met Mary, and I voice guided meditations. I have a company, Sammi Price Voice, that does voiceovers, things like that. I'm also a performer, an actor, drag king, all of the above. And check me out at www.sammiprice.com, SAMMIPRICE. So thank you. That's my one plug. We're done.
We're not done because you're going to be sampling her voice through this whole thing. Melting like butter.
Melting like butter.
Forget about it.
Forget about it. She likes to speak in a New York voice when I'm around too.
Although she says it's Jersey.
It's a good Jersey voice.
I try lots of accents, but I'm not great at them.
You're great.
I'm wonderful.
You are.
So, I'm going to show the ingredients.
Cool.
What we're making with the cacao. You might not be able to super see it, but I have a hot plate over here, and I've got 4 cups of water on it because I wanted it to start getting warm before the video because it takes a while. You never want to boil your cacao. We are going to melt it down from a powder, but you're never going to boil it. Also, if you have ceremonial grade cacao, pure raw cacao, don't let it get hot like in the package. Don't leave it in your car. Keep it in a very safe space because it gets hard as a rock. If it's over, what's it called? Like when you break things down?
Like oversaturated or overheated?
It gets overheated very, very, very easily. So if you're like grinding it from a big chunk, it can actually melt while you're grinding it. It's super finicky. Now we have some cacao at the shop that's more regional. It's more local. So, you know, we're gonna put Sammy's website in the description here, and we're also gonna put the Rustic Raven website in the description if you want to buy cacao from there.
Which I just want to say real quick, I went to the Rustic Raven first time yesterday. Incredible. If you're ever in South Carolina, Florence, please go. Amazing spread, amazing people. So it was just really, like, seriously, so amazing. So thank you.
We had a great time.
Yeah.
It was a great time. So I like that the cacao that we sell there is local, regional, organic, those sorts of things, and it's helping support the farming industry where we are, because that same place that does that cacao also supplies a lot of other herbs that we sell in the shop for tinctures, which are other plant spirit medicines that can be used for sleep, anxiety, depression. You know, we're looking at St. John's wort, skullcap, you know, all those sorts of things are plant spirit medicines. This one is just super special in a lot of cultures. So if you don't want to get that kind, I highly recommend Heart Blood Cacao. This is a brand I super, super love. All they do is cacao. All they do is cacao. And so you can even see the little heart around the cacao bean, because they understand the ceremony of it, the ritual of it, what it represents, what it means. It just means something super, super deep. So this is a really good brand if you don't get it from our shop. So right now, I'm getting close to boiling, so I'm gonna turn it down a little bit. But I have 4 cups of water there. Now, of that Heart Blood cacao, we put 20 tablespoons in there. So this is gonna make way more than we need, I think. But we're gonna give Sammi a full ceremonial dose. So she'll probably drink about 3 cups of this. And by cups, I mean this thing. So my mother-in-law made these by hand with clay and glazed the inside. She did this especially for our cacao ceremonies, and it just looks like it's dripping with chocolate.
I love it.
And I love it. And so these are our special ceremonial cacao cups. So this is what we're going to be using. So we have 20 tablespoons of cacao in here. Now, this is my personal recipe that I have cultivated over the years. I don't know if you can see this, but I also like to grind up reishi mushrooms and put a couple of teaspoons of that in there. This gives it a slightly different texture, but reishi mushrooms have so much in them health-wise, and mushrooms themselves are so amazing for your body. This is a reishi mushroom.
Whoa, I didn't even see that. Can I touch it?
Yeah, you can touch it.
Thank you so much. Is this like, it's dried and?
Yeah, it's a dried
That's
reishi mushroom.
amazing. I didn't even see that there.
I hit it
Wow.
for the blind reaction. But it's just, yep, it's a big old reishi mushroom.
awesome.
So I actually took one of these and ground it down to make that powder.
Wow.
And it's not easy. Actually, you might just want to buy reishi powder if you're gonna put that in your cacao, because this is an SOB to grind down. Like, it was really hard. I broke a blender doing it,
Really?
burned it out.
Is it as hard as it is now, or not as hard? Like when you first get it?
Oh yeah, it came like this. It came like this. Now if you find them out wild in nature, they're not like this, but obviously you want to dry them or they'll like mold, you know, so yeah, things like that. Okay, and so that's in there. We also like to, I'm getting too close to boiling. I also like to put cayenne inside of my cacao. Cayenne makes me cry, and it makes my nose run. So we're only gonna put a teeny little bit in there, just like a pinch. But what this is a vasodilator. So as this opens all of your veins, all of your blood vessels, they're opening to receive more deeply the cacao that you're ingesting. So this doubles the work of the cacao. It's like the vehicle of the cacao. Now, not everybody makes their cacao this way. I like to. So I'm gonna put some of this cayenne in there real quick. Here, hold this.
Okay.
Don't sniff it.
All right.
Okay.
Copy that.
Okay, how much? It's so strong. Okay. You think that's too much?
No, that's fine. Yeah. You're good. You live life on the edge. Go ahead.
No, like less.
No. I think that's good.
Less.
That's a good amount of stuff in the jar.
Less. Okay, I trust you. Okay, so this is my blend. I already have the cacao powder, the reishi And now the cayenne in there, and I'm gonna stir just the powder up real good. So this amount of cacao, the 20 tablespoons of cacao, is gonna go to 4 cups of water. Of course, you can half this, do 10 tablespoons of cacao to 2 cups of water. And if you're doing it individually, I don't even know, like if you just get a mug of water, you could probably do 3 tablespoons of cacao. But we're doing like a ceremony. This is a ceremony. This isn't hot chocolate. So we're doing a lot. We're gonna do a lot here. Okay, I think that's good. I don't think that's boiling. So, now, I'd like us to all kind of come together and do a little meditation just to get on the same heart space level as I get super close to the camera. And we'll get together. We'll get together right here. So everyone just start by taking some deep breaths. Really get yourself into a centered frame of mind. I find it easiest to do these meditations either laying flat on your back or sitting straight up. Now, when you meditate, you want your back to be straight because that's how energy moves up your channel. But if you find that you're getting sore in your back from being so straight, it's probably because your hips are tilted too far forward, and you can tilt your hips back while keeping your back straight, and that's gonna relax everything. That's a big mistake that I think a lot of people make at first when they start meditation is they do this rather than just relaxing the pelvis but keeping the back straight. So that cayenne's really in my nose.
It's okay. I like to imagine back in my college days that there's like a silver string that's going up from the base of your spine, you know, that's coming out the roof of your head. You can even sometimes pull a hair at the top of your head and it releases your lower back. So it's my little bit of knowledge there.
I like that.
Yeah.
Pull my silver string.
Yeah.
Sammi.
Okay.
Oh, I thought you were gonna do it. I was like, oh, okay.
So.
Okay, so as you get yourself into that comfortable space, relaxing all the muscles in your body, your hands are super important in meditation too, because different mudras will send the energy in a channel through your body rather than it releasing straight from your hands. If your hands are in a mudra, the energy goes in loops and comes back through, and it amplifies your energy and brings your energy up. Today, instead of doing any sort of mudra, and this is my favorite, the Brahmi mudra, but instead of doing a mudra, we're going to be in our heart space. So that's more what we're going to do. So you can either do your prayer hands over your heart space, directing the energy there, or just holding your heart space with your hands cupped in what we call Reiki hands that catches the energy. I'm trying to see if I can make like a heart with my hands. It looks about like a heart. Okay, and then just breathe into that space naturally. We're kind of picturing the energy coming up from the earth, entering into the bottom of your body, coming up into your heart. And with each breath, then the energy is coming down from the cosmos into the crown of your head, entering into that heart space. So those energies are mixing together in your heart space. And I want you to begin imagining a space out in nature, very green, very colorful. And there's this huge mountain covered in greenery, covered in ivies and flowers, pinks, blues, purples. And make that imagery real. You can hear tropical birds singing. You can hear insects humming. You can feel the warmth of the sun on you, the wind as it blows across this tropical space, this island. And you feel so drawn towards this mountain of green. And you're drawn to it because it's warm, it's inviting, it's loving. It feels like coming home. It feels like being held. It feels like something you can trust. And you see the Quetzal bird flying in, all of its rainbows of feathers, the sun glinting off of those colors as the Quetzal bird flies up the mountain. You feel yourself walking up this mountain effortlessly, following that Quetzal bird. Just moving through the ivies, moving through the greenery without effort, with ease and peace. And the closer to the top you get, the brighter things become. The more vivid these colors become until they're almost not even held within something physical. The colors themselves are vibrating. And at the top, you come to a space where you are meeting Mama Cacao, the spirit. And she speaks to you. And when she speaks to you, it's like a river of warmth and love is moving through your body, coming straight from her mouth, pouring into you. You feel yourself being filled with harmony, wisdom. She's the water that runs through the heart, the keeper of the ancient secret, the wisdom. She's the medicine of the soul, giving you everything that you need. She's the medicine of peace, the rainbow medicine, the gentle healing. You feel soft. You feel warm. Your chest is opening. You feel bitterness running through your veins and then leaving your body as you're left with nothing but peace of mind, knowing all is well, softness and love, harmony. Set your intention with Mama Cacao, with the goddess of chocolate. What is it that your body says to her it needs? And feel yourself receiving that thing from her as you send her pure love and gratefulness in return. Spend a moment or two with Mama Cacao. So grateful that you have gotten to meet this goddess, this plant spirit's soul, knowing that it's going to work deep wonders inside of you. And keeping all of this inside of you, all of this imagery within you, slowly feel yourself coming back to your physical space so that all of that sinks inside of your body, becoming a physical reality from the heart outwards, like a fountain, a river of love, that river of harmony. And as you come back I'm going to begin slowly adding the powder, the cacao, to the water and blending it and mixing it. Now, since this is ceremonial, we've come in, we've removed our shoes, we've washed our hands, we're cleansed, we've meditated, we've met the spirit of the plant we're going to receive. We have set our intentions with what we're going to get out of this, and in return we've given gratefulness and love so that there is that exchange. Now we get to cook it down in continued ritual. Now, it is actually, what's the word? My brain.
It is actually
like generations, you know, like a tradition. It is traditional to sing to the cacao while you cook it. We sing to Mama Cacao while we cook down. So there's tons of different Mama Cacao songs. This one is my favorite. And there's lots of different ones that talk about the heart opening and the softening. And there's so many beautiful, beautiful ones. But this one pretty much says the same thing over and over in Spanish. And it's saying, Mama Cacao, thank you for your medicine. And so we're thanking the medicine and we're singing to her spirit the entire time that we're cooking it down. Hit it, maestro!
hitting it. You know if it's... So for those watching right now, Mary is pouring what she created into the boiling pot. And she's mixing it right now. Still mixing it a bit.
Not use sugar. Let's turn it down just a little bit because it's done. I asked you to please not use sugar, but you can use syrup or honey or organic things like that that just don't defeat the entire purpose of really feeling the fullness of the medicine. So the first cup I'm going to give you is actually going to be without the syrup, so that you can, this is your first time, so having that full experience, having just met Mama Cacao yourself and her spirit, getting to really fully experience that, fully taste that bitterness and letting that run through your veins first. We're gonna do that, and you can leave it on if you want to, just like real low. Did you say it got mad?
I said copy that.
Oh. Sammi is also our media manager, so when everything goes wrong with my electronics, as it's wont to do, she fixes it.
Yeah. A little bit of audio doctor sometimes. Cooks are beautiful.
It's hot.
I figured.
Yeah. These are the cutest little cups.
They are.
We're not mixing our medicines, but we are touching hearts. Sit with the warmth of it once it's mixed in and let it kind of go into the heart space, because everything that you saw in your meditation is here in physical form. So letting that energy mix with your heart space, that's why I said we're not mixing energies, because you might have had a different intention when you met Mama Cacao there than what I had. And what I saw was all about peace and joy and bringing playfulness to all of the ritual and ceremony, and you've seen my life and all of the responsibilities and all the things that we have to do. So really bringing a lot of play and joy to all of those experiences was something that Mama Cacao's working on me with today. Do you want to share? You don't have to.
Yeah. I suppose mine was very similar. Very much replacing any perhaps overthinking or things like that with play, with presentness, with allowance of being in the moment, and that's what I'm doing now. So so playful. It's good.
Your eyes are watering.
It's good.
We love Mama Cacao.
We love Mama Cacao.
Like I said, it is a medicine. It is bitter. And this first one, we are tasting that bitterness. Unsquint your eyes.
I'm good.
Be respectful.
No, I'm so respectful. I'm so respectful.
You're killing me. It gets better as it goes.
It's good. I liked it.
It's really, I love to fully experience it. I love that. Just like having coffee for the first time. Coffee is a plant spirit medicine. Nobody likes coffee when they're 5.
That's very true.
You know, but it's a taste that grows on you, especially as you learn how you like it. But I think it's super powerful to honor her with her flavors first before adding our own sweeteners and things like that. You know, for me personally, it's a matter of honor and respect. Like, this is who you are. I take you in your raw form. I accept you. I accept that medicine. I love that. Let it work in me. I take what you have to give rather than what I think I need from you, kind of thing. Also, the good thing about cacao versus coffee is that coffee works on your nervous system, whereas cacao works on your cardiovascular system. So cacao also gives you that boost of energy without making you feel jittery or without you crashing later. So there are a lot of like morning drinks now that are replacing coffee with cacao and mushroom supplements. Like I drink the mud water sometimes in the mornings, and that is cacao mixed with different mushrooms and what's the tea I like?
The milk tea?
Chai. Mixed with chai. She's like, I don't fucking know.
No, I do know. It's chai.
Chai.
It actually is a lot better. At first, it was just a little bit of a surprising taste. I love the texture. It does taste like hot chocolate, but it's very, once you taste it a little bit more, it does taste better. And I thank you for saying accepting in natural form, because that's exactly what it feels like when having it right now.
I got it on your bed.
Good. It's lucky. Lucky bed.
I'm letting that one go. Now, by the time we get through the second cup, those bliss molecules gonna be hitting. But right now, we're just honoring. We're accepting in raw form. So,
which in reality, like when you talk about our own individual reasons of what we spoke to Mama Cacao about, accepting in natural form is really the first step to any kind of growth. Wherever you're at, whatever you asked, her to help you with or bring you peace in.
what about love do you want to talk about?
What about love? Sing you a little something about love. Ba-da-ba-boom.
I'm loving it.
Whoa! We cannot get sued.
Can't do that?
No, you can't. You're fine. As long as you don't say McDonald's.
She said it, not me. They're from two separate people, so no license infringement. My last video, there was a license infringement. It's like blocked in Ethiopia or something.
In Russia.
Russia. But I love Russia. I love Ethiopia too. I don't want it to be blocked anywhere.
Yeah.
But like some places don't speak English, so I imagine it's probably okay for Russia.
Yeah. It's because of the Doja Cat song. That was the only thing. Which was a great video. Go back and watch that if you have not.
I shake my butt in it. So Sammi asked me, when we're talking about talks of love, she wanted me to get into a little bit about twin flames. Because not a lot of people fully understand twin flames. Is that still a question you want me to address?
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, there's a lot right now in the media about it too, because there's a lot of, interesting perspectives.
Don't even bring up that stupid show. It's brought up now. I brought it up. Because I thought you were bringing it up.
I wasn't particularly, but you brought it there then.
So, okay. The show's trash. But anyways, twin flames, essentially, from my perspective, because I actually didn't believe in twin flames years ago. I did not. I was like, that was just an excuse for people to be obsessed with somebody and never let it go. But then I started having my own visions and my own realizations, and I realized from my visions that I believe a twin flame essentially is when a soul duplicates itself. All right, so we gotta go all the way back to personal cosmology from the last show, right? Personal cosmology. Hold this. I need to talk with my hands. Okay. So source energy. We talked a little bit about that last time. Source energy, where everything came from, and then we start to break apart and create souls. Now, what constitutes a soul from my perspective, because there's energy everywhere and energy in all things, but what specifically makes a soul is when a specific amount of energy stays together to reincarnate life after life after life, accumulating experiences, memories, imprints, and contracts. That constitutes a soul. Now, that soul that has gone through so many lives, has so many memories, so many experiences, it might decide it wants to mature more quickly, have more experiences, eventually leading to its, ultimate destiny of returning to source. And so almost like mitosis, where the cells split apart, this is what I envisioned the soul doing. It literally splits from one soul into two souls. Now, don't get it twisted. It's not splitting itself in half. which means that your twin flame is not your other half. You are whole in yourself. You do not need somebody else to complete you. They are just a duplicate of a twin of your soul, just like twin babies. They are not unwhole. They are their whole person. All the cells just break apart into two babies. And that's just, it's literally a twin. A twin flame is literally a twin of your soul. But at the point that it twins, so you guys now have two souls because it's split. So these two souls have the exact same frequencies, memories, and contracts and imprints up to this point. And now they go about their lives having their own separate lives, creating separate memories and separate experiences. And so when we are around twin flames, we feel that immediate magnetism and connection to that person because up to a point they were literally our soul. And this is why a lot of the time it becomes very romantic, because we want to become ourselves again. We want to come back home to ourselves. And a lot of us feel like that's outward rather than inwards. So we want to like consume this person and it's very intense and we just need to eat them. Yeah. So like you just want to come back together. But because they literally are mirroring back to you everything that you are, these are very quite often tumultuous and sometimes toxic relationships. So I don't believe that twin flames are supposed to be your romantic partner. I believe that they're just the person who you're meant to learn a lot from within shadow work and mirror work, because they mirror your soul back to you. And I also believe when you meet a twin flame that you should think of them as being perfect. Exactly how they are, in whatever mess they're in, they are perfect. They are a divine being, because seeing that helps you accept yourself and know, I am perfect. I am a divine being, and nothing that I do is wrong as long as I'm continuing to evolve and learn and become more loving and kind. So twin flames really help you a lot with your healing, your shadow work, your mirror work, self-love, confidence, sometimes placing boundaries. Done that crap.
Yeah, and for people wondering too, so you can have many twin flames that you feel in your life.
Listen up, Mormons. 144 get into heaven. Think about that. I believe, personally, that within sacred math stuff, sacred numbers, that we can have in the way that spiritual math works and stuff and numerology, I believe that we can duplicate our souls in our soul's path from breaking away from source to coming back to source 144 times, meaning that you can have up to 144 twin flames, meaning that 144 get to heaven, because that's what it means to come back to the whole, to come back to the self. So don't be so literal with the Mormons. Jesus, God. But 144. Now I know of at least 5 that I have here in this particular life, and I'm not lovers with any of them. God. But I love myself. I love them for who they are and every single thing that they're going through, and I can see that as a mirror reflection of myself. And the interesting thing is that at least 2 of them are healers, psychics, or shamans. No. Hold on. Let me recount. Hold on. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so there's 6 of us if I include myself. So 4 of the 6 actually are healers, shamans, or psychics, and the other 2 basically were like musical geniuses.
Wow.
Yeah.
Which you are also a fabulous musical genius.
Oh my God, thank you.
She's a shockwave through your system.
So with our second cup, If you guys have any more questions about twin flames, twin souls, anything like that, just drop a comment and let me know, because there's actually something slightly more interesting that I want to talk about while we drink our second cup.
With syrup.
With syrup. So kind of what I do is I just put a little drop of syrup in the cup and let it kind of coat the cup so that you're not having to blend and mix, but it's still like getting in there. Hold this for me. Okay, so just kind of.
Thank you.
Nah. Is that gonna be enough? Nah, let me see. Nah. And we're just putting a few little drops, honestly. We're not doing a whole lot, but it's gonna make a big difference. Because you really don't want to over sweeten. Because honestly, it's just like drinking whiskey. Your first cup of whiskey, you're like, ah! And then by the third cup, you can't even taste it anymore. You're just pounding it. And this is kind of the same.
You know how that is.
Well, some of us do.
Thank you.
De nada. All right, let me mix this up again so it's not. Frothing it up.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Mama Cacao.
So love, Mary. Love, hey. Love, man.
As a member of such a large queer community where you're from, would you like to discuss with us a little bit about polyamory?
Okay. So for folks who are listening, so I live in New York City. I've lived there about the last 10 years. And as a beautifully wonderful place with so much opportunity and diversity, which is so important for people to experience, I think it also forces individuals to maintain and develop a real self-love, and that's regardless of where you are. You could be in rural Kansas and you must develop a sense of self-love and groundedness. I suppose, like, as we go into that topic, just being in New York City, I do a lot of queer activism work. I do a lot of just things to help in whatever way I can assist and bring awareness to where awareness should be, and we hope for awareness to go to within the queer community. And it's very interesting because talking about this discussion of love, I mean, through the diversity that I've seen in that city, it's so fascinating to see the different forms of how love can come in and how it does come to everybody. So I think that's been a real journey for me. The last year was love and deconstructing, becoming aware of what I believed love should be, what I believe it's supposed to be, and then what it really is most beneficial and fulfilling for me. And I think that's an important thing for everyone to do in their own way, in their own lives, whether you've been married for 30 years or whether you're 21 years old and you're in the dating pool, or vice versa, whatever it is. I mean, married young, married old, whatever, anything. Wherever you are, I think it's very important to look at your idea of love and relationships and these things, and what a privilege it is to look at, to be able to have the time, the energy, the people in your lives to look at love and assess where you're at with it and assess what's right for you, and that may change. That may change. So going back to your original question, in the diversity that I've seen in the city, I mean, I've had friends of mine who, you know, have found somebody when in high school, and they've been with this person for their entire life, and they've developed this love and gone through all of the different stages and changes in their own lives. And then other friends of mine who are, you know, in their 60s, practicing polyamory for, you know, 30 years, you know, 30, 40 years. And I think it's a real question of it is unique to everybody what works for them, and to deconstruct your ideas of, again, of what you think something should be, and say, you know what, maybe my form of love is a little bit different than what I had expected it to be or what I was told that it should be. So, you know, speaking about your question on, I love the cacao on my bed, by the way.
I spilled it everywhere.
I love it.
Well, it's almost like we've gone a few steps. You know, there's been traditional relationships, traditional being male-female, and then we've kind of stepped into the queer community where we're looking at lesbian couples, gay couples, pansexual couples with trans rights and things like that. And then even that can still be one-on-one couples, right? And,
Absolutely.
And then we're like completely stepping over that into polyamory, where we love many people.
Yeah, which some people may assume, and again, I am not the complete expert on this at all.
This is
just
an
from my
excuse
own
to have sex with lots of people without commitment.
Yeah, or like you're just, you know, you're going crazy around town, and some people may do that, and if that works for them, good for you. And that's fine. But I think actually, when you're taking non-traditional methods of relationships, whether that be in a queer relationship, whether that be in any, you know, different religions or different, you know, skin colors, whatever it may be, these things that perhaps, you know, society or people in your family or people in the street who may double take a look at you and be like, what's going on? You know, things that we have to work through. I just lost my train of thought with it. Mary knows this happens to me sometimes. It just totally goes out.
Well, I was challenging polyamory.
Yeah.
Just to be devil's advocate.
Yes. Oh yeah, you brought me back. So challenging it. It actually, I feel like, requires like such an insane, incredible amount of communication, because you have to, in an ethical way, if you're doing this in an ethical way, because honesty and truth and kindness should be at the base of everything that you do in your life, in every aspect, in my opinion. So if you're exploring love in untraditional forms, sticking to truth, sticking to kindness, communication, and you know what? Those things can change. If somebody's like, you know what, I'm gonna try being poly for a bit, and I'm gonna, you know, try these things, and you do it for however long, and if maybe there comes a point where you're like, you know what, this isn't right for me anymore, it can change. Just like so many things can change, and I think accepting the new versions of ourselves as we progress is important, you know?
So I'll even venture as far as to say, how they're blowing the drive outside. This is great. How do we know when there's really something inside of us that's missing, something inside of us that we need to heal?
Let's come closer while they do that.
They're blowing
We're gonna come real close.
Okay, we're gonna get real close.
Okay.
So,
tell us, Mary.
How do we know if there's something inside of us that simply needs to heal? Like, so we know that it just gets louder.
Come real close. Come real close. You're like, you better not be talking about anything crazy in there. Okay.
So we know, like, people who were raised with like abandonment, rejection, or even like sexual wounds, things like that, often have, or who have been abused in young years, they often grow to have many unhealthy relationships, mostly uncommitted relationships, things like that. So it's almost like having to dig through and know how we're whole within ourselves, validate ourselves, versus I'm trying many different relationships to see what fulfills me, when the reality is none of them do, and then calling it polyamory.
Yeah. It's interesting that you said that. I think that, I should hold this.
She put down her cup. She's like, let me address this.
I think all of us deserve, happiness and trust and peace in our lives and in our relationships. So perhaps for those who have gone through certain things in our lives to make us untrustful of others, it doesn't mean that you're broken in any way at all. It may just mean that, you know what, as you've gone through these lessons and as you've taken that time to look at yourself, you're not broken. It actually makes you more stronger and understanding of the love that you deserve and the love that you'd like to give to other people and yourself. I think the not broken thing is an interesting concept too.
I like that a lot. Yeah. And giving yourself the opportunity to explore what that even means.
Yeah. Just the deconstructing of what it's supposed to be, of what people think that things should be in every aspect, is always fascinating. And the crazy thing is that when we start to do that deconstructing process of, say, perhaps you're like, okay, I'm interested in trying something new, whether that be in a relationship way or whether that be in whatever. Once we start to deconstruct our mind of that, it often can make us feel more lost than we were to begin with. But also, just because you feel very lost or uncomfortable does not mean that you are in the wrong place. Whenever I feel the most lost in my life, which actually is very often, I'm gonna be real, it's super often, that I'm like, what is going on? What is happening? I'm doing my best, but it's important to know, there's the whole quote, not all who wander are lost. Change is never going to be comfortable. If we're comfortable all the time, it's because, we would never change if we were comfortable all the time, right, Mary? I mean, you got to be a little uncomfortable to be like, okay, perhaps I'm not as happy in this exact thing that I'm doing right now, and you're feeling a pull to change something. So I think, I don't know, this went a long topic kind of far away from what we were originally talking about.
So coming back, and this time being angel instead of devil's advocate, I would venture so far as to say that polyamory, hold with me, I'm just about through my second cup. Polyamory is very similar to the twin soul theory in that your soul is learning love on a fast track maturation level, because you are learning yourself, all of your boundaries, all the things you like, all the things you dislike. You are learning yourself much more quickly through multiple relationships versus one.
It's true. I think it's a lot of communication, and I think a lot of people, when something is different than what they've known, it's automatically like, whoa, no. That's weird. They have a preconceived notion.
This isn't how we do this.
Yeah, a preconceived notion with it, which I understand. When things change is scary, you know what I mean? Or when things come up that you don't really understand, it is scary. But also, even if it's not something that you want to do, it's kind of interesting to think about it, because maybe it'll help you in the way that you do want to live. Education in any kind of emotional range is very important,
Slam that. I also think that polyamory is our natural state to a certain extent. So our soul naturally wants to make connections. Our soul naturally wants to love all and to love everyone, even if it's not sexual. We just want to love everyone. The only thing that makes us not want to love is fear. And fear is not in alignment with love, it's the opposite. So we want to love, we want to have these connections, we want to explore these connections. And so I think that this is a very beautiful, natural, wonderful thing. And sometimes in life, like for instance, these people that who have been polyamorous for 30 years, they have actually found a true connection that they like and that works well for them and that's healthy and keeps them growing. and they've held on to those connections for many, many years. And the amount of communication that has to go into these things to keep people feeling safe, protected, respected, honored, because it's really not a natural ingrained thing in our human brain to share the things that we love. It's natural in our heart space and in our spirit energy, but not in our human brain. Our human brain says, no, this is mine, I've marked my territory. Anything else makes me feel unsafe. And so the soul and the body is almost at odds with it. So it's a very beautiful thing.
Yeah, it really is. I think that a lot of the stuff that I've experienced in that regard, in the moments that I felt this is mine, you know, this is like back off, you know, like those kind of feelings, which sometimes there's a healthy level of that. But when I deconstruct that and go back to like where that actually is coming from, it is coming from a place within me that's an insecurity. And then I acknowledge that insecurity. It's not bad to have insecurities. We all have them in some way. You acknowledge that. You say, why am I feeling that? You know, you say, okay, you nurture that, you know, you remind yourself that it's not real and that you can, heal yourself from that. And then a lot of the time, a lot of the things that you're upset about are just totally, useless to be upset about, really.
But even all of that said, by the time you truly explore these multiple connections, you end up honing and willowing them down to just a few, just like friends, because only some of them are true love versus sexual attraction or safety or wounds being attracted to other wounds. So only so many of them actually honor you and actually love you and actually make you feel safe and respected. So it's almost like a lot of exploration and connecting coming still back down to just one or few.
Yeah.
So then monogamy within one relationship or monogamy within some polyamorous relationships. Because polyamory, there's a lot of different kinds of polyamorous relationships.
That's it. There's not only one. There's so many different facets and forms. And every single one is so unique as well. I'm almost done.
So, so what are the different kinds of polyamorous relationships?
Oh, man. I mean, again, I'm not the crazy expert on this, but honestly, it just depends. Just like a monogamous relationship, it's based off the foundation of what works for you. So every person and every, people who are in a relationship together, they have, oh, thank you so much. They have their own, rules, boundaries, guidance, and communication amongst each, one another that bring them peace and safety and security. I think that's really what it's about, and that this can change, and that safety, feeling comfortable is always number one. So communicating what makes you feel that way is the most important thing in my opinion.
Now I'm hearing a contradiction, because now we're saying comfort is the number one thing, but we also said being within comfort limits us and doesn't keep us growing.
Well, I'm saying that when you are placed in not in comfort, uncomfortable situations, or if you're in a space in your life where you feel discomfort and you're like, I don't know what's happening, I'm unhappy with my job, or I'm unhappy with my relationship, or these things. It's unique to everyone how that unfolds and the time span that unfolds with, but you're never going to change if you're comfortable all the time. That's what I meant with it.
So is there, when we're looking at long-term relationships, a relationship possibly that feeds your sense of comfort and safety while also keeping your soul in a state of growth and expansion?
There's a beautiful song by Ben Platt called Grow As We Go. And it's, the lyrics are, I'm probably going to get this wrong, Ben Platt, if you're watching, I'm so sorry. You say there's so much you don't know. You need to go and find yourself. You say you'd rather be alone, but you can't. Something. Okay, you say you'd rather be alone. Basically, like saying, like, you say you gotta go be independent, you gotta go learn and grow. But what about if it's okay if we grow as we grow as we go together? Like, I accept you fully. Like, I can tell you, Mary, that I fully accept you for all the versions that you were, that you are now, that you will be. And I think that's a big thing. We crave safety and security as humans. So perhaps in our relationships, we go into one stage of our relationship, whether when we first got together or when we first got married, and it's a beautiful, wonderful, safe space. But the fact of the matter is that humans change and grow throughout years. We have so many different versions of ourselves, which is wonderful. So I think accepting that change, growing as we go, Growing as we go. Yeah, grow as we go. That was it.
And I love that, because if you happen to be with one person long enough, you'll find that you've loved 100 different people, because we're always growing and evolving and expanding. So we're always getting to love a different version of a person in the same body. And that body might even change and
100%.
become something different over time. So
I think the biggest thing is patience, understanding. If you can really build that in yourself, like, the world will shift around you. You know, it really will. And people who are understanding will be around you without you even knowing why, you know, just because you're approaching life in that way. You drink that so quick.
Well, you're doing most of the talking at this point. How do we feel? This is a check-in point, because she's 2 cups in, 1 more cup to go before her full ceremony. How are we feeling?
Feeling good.
It's not bad. Oh, I forgot to put syrup in this one. Here, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. It's good. It's good.
Full acceptance.
I feel it coating, you know, everything in me. And I'm
Everything
very
in you.
much, yes. I'm very much enjoying it a lot. And thanks, for listening to me ramble a little bit about it. I got that Ben Platt song stuck in my head now.
I love that.
Yeah.
So, how are we feeling as far as heart space, bliss? Have we had a bliss hit?
I think so.
Look around the room a little bit. Get out of this little energy circle. Look around the room a little bit. See where we're at, where we've gone, how we've traveled.
Yeah, it does feel like a different energy in here. It does.
Because I will say that I feel my energy is more like here versus here. Like it's kind of come expanded a bit. Yeah, let's move back so you can see my full energy expanding. Like the sunrise.
Yeah, the windows behind us.
So, if you have any other questions about polyamory or any sort of non-traditional relationships in that particular sense, or even traditional quote-unquote relationships, anything that has to do, anything that's founded in pure love of the soul and connecting, versus the humanness and needing that safety and security and stuff like that, just drop a comment and let us know, and we can go forward with that. You have a beautiful poem.
There were about 3 different ones, so I'm thinking right now one. Oh yeah. Okay, I'm down. I know which one I want to. Oh, I shouldn't put this in. Okay, yeah. You want to hear a little poem that relates to, but you got to play a little bit of music behind.
Okay.
If that's okay.
Yeah, turn that off.
Because Mary is a very talented guitarist. So speaking about this concept of love, I had written this like a few years ago. Actually, yeah, it was many years ago. And, I suppose I was at a point kind of in my life where I was like scared that I was gonna die and never come across that person that I was gonna be with. Which thus kind of goes back to what we were talking about, deconstructing what we believe love should be, what we believe we're supposed to have. And it goes back to twin flames, really. So this is just kind of a poem. Maybe it has a slight sad aspect, but I think it's beautiful as well. And essentially it's written from the perspective of, if I have passed away, I'm on the other side. And I look back into the physical world and I see a person who perhaps is my twin flame, who perhaps is my soulmate, who is a person that I could have been with, because I've always kind of, like so many of us, I've always kind of had this thought. I'm like, gosh, I hope I find my soulmate. I hope I can create this family. I hope I can do this. And this poem is called All the Things I Wanted to Say to You While I Was Alive. So it's me looking back from the spirit world. I got my cacao and I got my cigar, and I'm chilling on the beach in the spirit realm. And I look back and I see the person that I would have loved to make a life with, and maybe in the next life I will. All the things I wanted to say to you while I was alive. Picture my cigar. I held your hand until morning slowly drifted away into a blur of afternoon touches. Light pouring in through windows in such a way you only believed in films. Encouraging the familiar stretch of my cat against invisible balance beams only she can see. I hide in the flower of you. Your roots, whichever keep growing, no matter the emotions. I care for your tired body, the way an angel offers weathered strings to the moonlight, forming a dream catcher as delicate as our concept of forever. You turned into the moon which held all the stars together, a dirtied white feather, floating high above the child who wonders whose skin you were embedded in. You're always my forever. There's another real short one I'm breaking into as Mary lightly sings behind me, because I love your voice, so sings loudly. Yes. It will most likely end in heartbreak, I thought to myself as I stared out the bedroom window. But God, do I want to lose myself in her waves? On the beach, do I want to let the paddle drift off? Leave me stranded in the power of her. God, let me see the lighthouse. Let me remember the way home as I drift closer and closer into her. Because maybe home was here all along. This last poem is about going into the waves of a new love. You find somebody, a person, and this can even be a child. This can be someone that you just love. You love this person. And you get onto your little boat in the thunderstorm in the ocean. And you make the treacherous journey out into sea. And you're on the little boat and you look back and you see the lighthouse and you say, God, please, let me remember the way home. Let me remember that I was whole before this. As Mary mentioned about the twin flame stuff, I was whole before this. Let me remember that as I journey into these unknown waters. Because God, do these waters feel good? Does it feel good to put yourself into the waves, to put yourself into unknown territory? It's easier to cut off things that may bring us pain. It's easier to cut off love, to say, no, I'm good. I don't want any of that anymore. I've gone through my moments with love. I don't need that anymore. But man, I'm not allowed to swear, but F it. You know what I mean? We're here for such a short time that you may as well feel, I don't know what I'm doing 90% of the time, and neither do you. None of us really do. So approach things with kindness, with patience, with love. And remember the lighthouse. Remember you were whole from the start, and you will always be whole. You'll always remember the way home. So go into the waters, take the risk, go for it, give them your number. Do it. beautiful.
Silver Springs.
That was
You were
beautiful.
beautiful. I actually like got so into your poem, I forgot my words. Some here and there, I was like,
I don't know what I was saying. I blacked out.
and you weren't feeling the cacao?
I'm
Not at
feeling
all.
the cacao.
You are
It's
feeling
going
it at all?
through me real hard now. Okay,
Man, you're in
Silver
the
Springs,
zone.
man.
In the zone of love.
The live version of this song is so good. Just saying.
My heart is pumping.
So you want me to play this right now?
Yes.
Okay. Yes.
Make it loud. I mean, not like too loud, but like loud.
Thank you.
You could be my silver spring, or blue-green colors flashing. I would be your only dream.
We're basically just jamming now.
Ocean crashing. Don't say that she's pretty. Did you say that she loves you? I want to hear that, Price. I don't hear that. I want to know that. Keep it to yourself.
You tell them.
That's what I'm telling you.
Oh, man. Awesome. Mary's going swimming with the heart socks.
One sock.
One sock. So yeah, man, that's basically that's how I feel.
Make it loud again.
Okay. Copy that.
Baby, I don't wanna know. Oh no. Tell me, was it worth it? Baby, I don't
I've gotten used to this now.
I told you, third one, can't even taste
Yeah, the
it
third
anymore.
one is good. Oh,
Time casts a spell on you, but you won't forget me. I know I could have loved you, but you would not let me.
how you feeling rolling around over there, Mary?
This is nice. You guys are just gonna dance with us for a little bit. We had a great time.
We did. It is real interesting. I do feel elevated,
Yeah.
you know? I'm playing this space. Oh my gosh, my favorite chorus part is coming up. Again, the full chorus.
You wanna finish it? So you got like a shot. You have to have your hands free for your chorus. Time casts a spell on you. You won't forget me.
No! I knew you were gonna start that.
You got two. You got three.
Just for a moment.
You would not let me.
Just for a moment. She's so violent, man.
From the sound of the woman that loves you.
I don't want to beat you, but I will.
You down to the sound of my voice to call you. Give us a chance, you'll never get away from the sound of the woman that loves you.